300 years after a man-made virus wiped out most of humanity and gave apes increased intelligence, a chimpanzee must work together with a human woman to defeat an egomaniacal ruler and save his clan. After a man-made virus gave rise to an intelligent species of ape and turned humans mute and feral, the two factions struggled to coexist. In the war, one ape reluctantly took the reins of leadership and sacrificed his life for his kind, Caesar. Following his demise, the loyal followers placed flowers on his body before they finally laid his soul to rest by burning the remains next to a rock with a symbol on it. 300 years later, friends Noah, Suna, and Anaya climb the tall trees in the forest that's overtaken a once bustling metropolis in search of golden eagle nests. Eventually, they come across one with 3 eggs in it. However, their elders' rules emphasize that they must leave one for the mother, leaving Noah, the youngest of the group, empty-handed. He expresses his concern that he might not be able to procure an egg in time for tomorrow's bonding ceremony, and worries he'll have to wait another year for the next opportunity. Suddenly, he sees another eagle on a much higher nest, so he uses a metal rod to climb up. However, the bird sees the ape and attacks, causing Noah to slide off the cliff. Fortunately, he holds onto a branch, and he happily shows his friends that he managed to grab an egg. When they return to their horses, Noah notices a missing blanket. Then, they hear someone running away and chase them to a tunnel entrance. They find the blanket on a branch, and Anaya says it smells like a human. Later, they return to the village where Dar, Noah's mother, commends her son for a successful climb, and then tells him that his father wants to speak to him. The ape tries to stall by pointing out the broken fish drying rack outside the hut, but Dar says he can take care of it later. In the tallest tower, his father, Koro, the master of birds, inspects the eagle's nests. Then, the elder ape hums a song that calls his eagle companion's son toward him. When the father greets his child, the bird pecks Noah, implying that each eagle only bonds with the ape who raised it. Then, Koro smells human blood, so the son hands over the blanket. The father thinks he went to the valley beyond, but Noah insists he didn't. The elder ape tells his child to prepare for tomorrow's bonding ceremony, while he alerts the other elders of the presence of humans in the vicinity. That afternoon, Noah and his friends watch as his father sends Oda off to scare away the human. That night, as he fixes the broken fish drying rack, he hears a noise from inside the hut. When he goes to check, a human woman pushes him and runs past to escape into the woods. Unfortunately, he realizes that the push broke the egg inside his sling. Because he doesn't want to wait another year, Noah sets off on horseback in the middle of the night to find an egg. Hours later, he hears apes fighting and follows the noise. He finds the bodies of unfamiliar masked soldiers. Then the dying Oda warns him that there are more coming. Suddenly, he hears a raiding party approaching, so Noah hides in the bushes. While eavesdropping, he learns that Oda killed the party's scouts. Then, lightning finds the blanket, so Silva, the chief commander, orders his troops to spread out and find the deceased ape's clan, convinced they have the human they've been searching for. Seconds later, they spot Noah's horse, so the gorilla zaps the animal's rump with an electrical staff, hoping it'll lead them to the village. Panicked, Noah runs back home, but when he arrives, sees that the raiders have burned almost everything to the ground. In the chaos, he sees Anaya and Dar and he tries to help them. However, one masked soldier pushes him away and is about to zap him with an electric staff, but the friend grabs the opponent by the neck. As Noah scurries away, his mother tells him to save his father. Meanwhile, Silva kills one of the village elders and proclaims that their victory is for Caesar. He orders his troops to take the prisoners back to Proximus. Then he sees Noah climbing the burning tower. At the top of the tower, Koro tells his son to free as many birds as he can. Suddenly, Silva appears and orders Koro to surrender. When he refuses, a battle ensues between the gorilla and the chimpanzees. However, the commander overpowers the pair, and he throws the son through a wall. He manages to grab onto a steel cable, but Silva electrifies it with his staff, causing Noah to fall to the ground below. Hours later, the ape regains consciousness and finds a broken electric staff. Then, he sees son mourning Koro, so he lays his father to rest and promises to bring their clan home. Later, he follows the tracks and goes through the tunnel to the valley beyond. On his journey, he finds Dar's cloak and realizes he's on the right path. The next day, the ape tries to call son onto his arm by singing, but the eagle nearly scratches him. While wandering through the forest, he sees smoke coming from the trees, but when he checks, he falls down a hatch into a tavern-like space. Suddenly, Raka, an orangutan, mistakes Noah for a masked soldier because of the electric staff. So the ape explains what happened to his village, and Raka says the raiders also killed his companion, pointing to the body currently burning in the fire. Later, the orangutan says he hid when the raiding party attacked because he protected their work. Then, he shows Noah the books and explains that the apes knew what the symbols meant during the time of Caesar. The chimpanzee recognizes the name because he heard Silva utter it last night, so Raka scoffs and says the masked apes twisted Caesar's words and completely forgot his original teachings. He states that Caesar's tenets included apes together strong and ape shall not kill ape, and the members of the Order of Caesar followed his words. However, the orangutan fears he may be the only one left of the Brotherhood. When Noah sees a mural of a man and a woman, Raka asks if he's ever seen a human. He says he's seen one but claims they're lowly creatures, akin to boars. The orangutan agrees that humans are generally less intelligent than apes, but claims that there was a time when they coexisted with their kind. He says that all he knows is that humans were important to Caesar, so that means they're important to him as well. Eventually, they return to the surface and catch the woman trying to steal from Noah's horse. When he learns that the human followed the chimpanzee, Raka says he'll join him on his journey. That night, the orangutan sees the woman spying on them, so he tosses food and introduces themselves. To protect her from the cold, Raka convinces Noah to lend her his mother's cloak, which he begrudgingly obliges to. Because the woman doesn't speak, the older ape calls her Nova, a name given to female humans during Caesar's time. Hours later, Noah wanders around the rundown observatory and finds a telescope. Suddenly, Nova appears and looks through the eyepiece as well. The next day, the chimpanzee tells the orangutan that the woman reacted the way an ape would when peering through the contraption last night. Later, they come across a herd of zebras and they're unsure what they are. Then, a group of feral humans emerges from the trees to drink from the river. Because they've found people, they decide to go their separate ways. Raka and Nova remain with the tribe so the orangutan can help civilize them, and Noah continues his journey to save his clan, carrying the orangutan's Caesar symbol necklace as a reminder of his teachings. Suddenly, Silva and his raiders arrive, and they begin capturing the humans. The attackers follow Nova into a field, and when the woman realizes she's surrounded, she emerges from the tall weeds and screams Noah's name, much to his surprise. Fortunately, the ape manages to grab the woman before Silva catches her. After Raka takes down another raider, the trio escapes and continues on their journey. Later, they set their horses free to steer the enemies from their tracks. The woman finally reveals to Raka that she can talk and that her name is May. Then, she says she knows where they're taking Noah's clan, the same human settlement she's headed to. She adds that she's looking for other intelligent humans just like her. When Noah accuses her of withholding information, May says her mother taught her silence was the key to survival.